Hello, everyone. Professor Dustin here, and this video is just going to be a real short sort of detail on how to download stuff from iTelescope and some naming conventions that I use, and you'll have to eventually use when you submit the files to me. So just to remind you, this is what happens when iTelescope has a successful run. It gives you a receipt, tells you all this kind of stuff, which we kind of don't care about, and then it attaches some image to the bottom, which is the stuff we do care about. So just a couple of notes. This is the all sky cam from about the time the image took place. You can see like the Milky Way and stuff, weather, and then all these preview images. So just to be clear, these preview images, you can see they're JPEGs. They are images, but they're not scientific images. So images in astronomy have a very specific file format. It's not JPG, it's FITS, FITS images. So actually the FITS images are the things we actually need to do science on. These things are just automatically generated to give us a sense of what they look like. And you can see they look like astronomy images. Cool. And you can see there's a text file down here which tells you some more information. So what I'm going to show you is just real quickly how to get these images in the format that we actually need, and specifically how to zip them and name them in a way that matches what the other stuff we're doing. So I'm going to go over to iTelescope. I'm logged into my account. To get to the download data section, go to links and then download my data. And then you got to put in your username again. And you can see what you have is a whole bunch of telescopes for any telescope that you actually took images on. I'm just doing a random one, so I'm going to select one a little bit randomly. But what we need to do is save the file in a way that is consistent with our own data collection, because keeping track of all this data is actually a pretty big job. And in order to do it, we have to name the things appropriately. So the way that the convention that I've been using, and I'm going to ask you guys to use, is to pick the telescope. Let's see if there's anything under T11. Yeah, there's tons. So each of these is a source. So each of these is a named source. Probably what I did is I named in the actual file that tells the telescope what to do. This name was probably in there, which is why this name shows up here. These guys are a supernova, and that one is a galaxy. So let's just open up the M87. And you can see that the M87, so all these zip files are files that I already created. When you open one of these, you'll just have the directories, and they'll be named after the date. So you can see 2020, 2021, 1204, that's December 4th on 2021 last year, right? So what we need to do is we need to zip those so that, because inside there is like a whole bunch of files. And you can see actually here are the FITS files. Those are the actual files that we care about. They also have the preview files. These are the JPEGs down at the bottom. And there's some raw files which have been calibrated. So you can see there's raw and calibrated. The only ones we actually really care about are the calibrated ones, but downloading them individually is kind of a nightmare. So what we generally do is we zip them up. So we combine them, this whole folder, into a single zip file. So the way you do that is you highlight it and click it. I can't actually remember if you're supposed to click it or highlight it. One works and one doesn't. Then you go over here to zip files right there. And normally what I do is I want to keep these names the same as the date. So I don't want to change anything. I could put like a source. I could do like M87 and then the date or whatever. But what I actually like to do is keep the dates exactly the same. It doesn't really matter what you want, how you want to name them, but at some point they're going to have to be named this way when you submit them to me. So my recommendation is to right here, name them that way in the zip file, and then just click OK. And if you can see that it actually will take a little bit of a while to compress the data. Actually, this might not work because there's already going to be one down there, which I already made, right? But if you actually had done that, it would take not long, 2 or 3 minutes to zip it up. And then it would give you a nice message that says it's done. And then one of the zip files would appear down here. And those are the things that you actually want to download onto your computer. So I'm just going to pick one, I guess. And the same deal, I can't remember if you're supposed to click, highlight it or click it. Yeah, you can see that it tried to do it. So let me show you. So I'm going to both highlight it and click it because I can't remember which one it is. Just figure it out. And there's a button here, which is download. I also think you might be able to double click it or something. Yeah, double click can work too. But click download and then save it wherever you want. On my computer, I put things in downloads, put them in wherever you want. So I will show you a little bit more, but the next steps are going to depend on what kind of machine you're on. And you can actually see that I guess I'm not going to wait because it's going to take a long time to download because there's actually a lot of data in there. Depending on what kind of machine you're on, the next step is going to be different. I am on a Linux machine, so that means I go up to here and I can go to my file manager. That shows me where all my files are, and I can open my downloads folder, which is where I put it. And you can see that it's working on downloading it right there. That's the sort of zip part. It's not finished. It's only part of the file. And actually, there's the other part, but you can see it's a text. It doesn't know what it is. So anyway, at this stage, you're going to have to do something relative to your own operating system to unzip that file. I discussed that a little bit more in the other video, which is what to do after your first night of observation, but I just wanted to give you a few more details on naming the files. But at this stage, I would say that if this was enough information for you to get the files, go and do that. And if you want to do more, go to the video, which is what to do after your first night of observation. Okay, thanks everyone. I hope that was helpful, and everyone take it easy.